This is Triggered.
And you will be. Good morning, Chantal.
Oh, hello, Ashley.
Okay, so today is going to be interesting because Chantal got up at 1 a.m. and is still up. I went to bed at 1 a.m. and got up at 4.
And I am not one of the, I know people who are just super functional on 3-4 hours of sleep. I shut down.
We have been silly little fucks all morning.
I shake.
Yeah.
I get nauseous. My eyes start to dry out to the point where I need some Visine. It's not good.
We have been wild in this morning. For the past 4 hours, we have been playing with equipment, and it was not the vibe.
This is not our vibe. And then Ashley has a really cute dog, but he is an idiot.
Oh my God. And I love him so much. When you look at your pet and you're like, you're all I need. And then they do the stupidest shit and you're like, why do I keep getting dogs? Why do I keep feeling like I need another one?
Yeah.
I see a puppy, I'm like, yes, let's be
lot.
together. He is. My young girl, she's just old and chill.
Young girl.
And then I got him, my big dummy.
How old is she?
She'll be 13.
Oh my word.
Yeah, and he's 2.
She's a good girl.
She's a good girl. I love Boston Terriers. They're just easy.
She's such a sweetheart.
And then I have my Bernedoodle.
She's such a sweetheart.
I love Bear, though. He's such a funny dude.
Bear. I love Bear. But I love Bear the same way I love my dog, which is with so much patience.
Yes.
With so much patience.
But I feel like everyone can relate to that. There are moments where you're like, why do I keep adding to the things I need to do on my plate? But yet they're fluffy and cute.
But
so let's go.
Are. Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways,
absolutely.
Love my animals.
All right. I am taking us on a trip today.
Okay.
I would assume that most people who follow true crime, anything, have some kind of knowledge of this case, but I feel like it needs to be told in case you don't know it, because you absolutely must know it.
That being said, though, I find it ironic that this person is not on the list of the top 10 most famous serial killers.
I agree so much, because when you start doing the research into this, it's atrocious on every level. Uh-huh. And why is he not up there with Jeffrey Dahmer?
It's very interesting, but we'll let you guys decide.
Yes. All right. Today we journey to Fraserburgh, Scotland, to trace the unsettling origins of Dennis Nilsen, a man whose twisted path began in an unlikely place. Born on November 23rd, 1945, he's a Sag.
Okay.
There is
and by Sag, she means Sagittarius.
Yes, I do mean Sagittarius. We need to talk about, there is consistent signs for serial killers. And so we're not going to talk about it today, but at some point I am absolutely going to do an episode on, because there are 3 recurring signs that show up in serial killers.
I dated a Sagittarius once.
My man's a Sagittarius.
Oh, yeah, your man's fabulous.
I know, he's fantastic.
All right, carrying on.
All right. Nilsen's childhood was marked by strife. His parents' marriage was a stormy one, and in the wake of their discord, young Dennis, his mother and siblings, moved in with his maternal grandparents. There, he found solace and joy in the company of one figure, his grandfather, a man he absolutely adored. But that brief happiness was shattered when Nilsen was just 6 years old. His beloved grandfather died unexpectedly, leaving Dennis grappling with a profound and confusing loss. He was brought to view his grandfather's body at the funeral, which I look at as a very healing thing. I've been to many, many wakes.
Yes.
And for me, it's almost like a closure. Like, you see the body, but I have heard from a lot of people.
I'm a lot of people. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Just are not into it. It causes them a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of strife. And that's what happened with Dennis. It caused him, it was like a traumatic event for him. He later claimed this would shape his future, embedding itself deep in his mind and playing a role in his later behavioral psychopathology. After his grandfather's death, Dennis Nilsen's world shifted yet again. His mother remarried and had 4 more children.
Oh, boy.
I know, that's so many children. A change that left young Dennis feeling more withdrawn and isolated than ever before.
Oh, he didn't feel like he belonged.
No. And I've heard this from families where this happens.
Yeah.
Where, like, they remarry and they end up having their own kids because there is a bond between, like, I can love my stepkids, and I do love my stepkids as much as I love my daughter, but it would be weird for them if we had a kid.
Absolutely.
Because then that is our conjoined baby
connection
that we love, that we've had since birth, you know?
Oh.
Lonely and detached, Dennis struggled to find his place within the new family dynamic, which we hear all the time.
Mm-hmm.
As he entered adolescence, Nilsen became aware of his homosexual attractions, a realization he kept deeply hidden because it was 1945.
Absolutely.
And that was just not...
It was a very taboo thing.
Exactly. When you had those feelings, you kept them to yourself for the most part.
But very normal. It was just as normal back then as it is now.
Of course. Like, you have those sexual tendencies and it's not something you should be fighting or you should be keeping inside of you. But at that time, you almost had to.
Yes.
He says he never acted on these feelings during his youth. He instead focused his energy on a different path. At just 16, Dennis enlisted in the British Army, where he began training as a cook and soon served as a butcher in the Army Catering Corps, which is interesting when you hear his story. The Army provided him with structure and perhaps a temporary escape from the loneliness he'd always known. But as we'll see, this career would also fuel darker skills and patterns that would later define his life in absolute chilling ways. After 11 years in the Army, Dennis Nilsen returned to civilian life. It was 1972, with a new sense of direction. He joined police training, where his role gave him direct exposure to the world of crime and investigation. But while some recruits focused on law and order, Dennis found himself drawn to the morgue, fascinated by autopsied bodies and the sterile stillness of death.
Red flag.
I was gonna say, red flag number 1.
Yes.
Listen, I am fascinated by the morgue.
Absolutely.
As we were just saying earlier, like, I have no problem viewing a dead body. That does not bother me in any way, shape, or form. At the same time, I'm not seeking that out. That's not like I'm not going home and like wondering and thinking about it.
No, and you're not choosing a career so that you can be around dead bodies.
Right? Exactly. Police work provided him with an unsettling outlet for these dark curiosities, yet he soon grew disillusioned and resigned from the force, leaving behind a career that could have offered him the discipline he so needed. Dennis instead sought out a quieter, more inconspicuous... It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be great.
Oh,
maybe it's not going to be great.
Inconspicuous role. He became a recruitment interviewer, blending into society, concealing his strange fascinations just beneath the surface. Recruitment interviewer. I mean, he really stepped it down.
I think probably because... Okay, so imagine you're obsessed with something, or you're so intrigued by something, or you're drawn to something.
Yeah.
It's like me. Could I work in a bakery? No. Why? Because I would eat my way out of the room every single day.
I partially wonder if him switching career paths was almost his way of being like, this isn't good for me and I need a change.
Yeah, like maybe he subconsciously was trying to fix the demons within his mind.
Maybe. So it's 1973. Dennis Nilsen's calm, inconspicuous life was interrupted by his first official run-in with the police. It all began with a young man named David Painter, who Nilsen had met through his work as a recruitment interviewer. One evening, Painter awoke to find that Nilsen had taken photos of him while he slept.
Not okay by any way. Okay. My husband has this fascination of taking photos of me while I'm sleeping, looking completely insane. And he has like a whole montage of just me drooling with my mouth wide open.
Which is endearing.
It is. This is not.
This is not endearing.
No.
You do not meet someone at work and then break into their house and take photos of them while they're sleeping.
But did he break in?
I don't know if he broke in.
I feel like they were maybe having a companionship.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Still,
not okay.
If I'm having a companionship with somebody and they take photos of me sleeping, we're having problems.
Man.
We're having problems.
Yeah.
So this betrayal was obviously unsettling. Painter became so enraged by the violation of trust that he had to be hospitalized following their confrontation.
So more to it. There should have been more to it then. I feel maybe he didn't share the explicit details of what else maybe went down, but like obviously the photos were probably of a sexual nature, possibly.
Or even like it sounds like he had an anxiety attack.
Poor thing.
I know. Well, no kidding. I would too.
Some creep just Polaroiding the shit out of you.
Oh, God. Obviously, Nilsen was soon brought in for questioning, but despite Painter's distress, the case never gained enough traction. He was released without any charges, which I will never understand. That's the 1975 of this. Like, they were like...
And was also a police officer.
Yes.
So he's intelligent with the law.
He knew what to say, how to say it.
And did he know the people that were interviewing him?
That's right.
There's a lot of pieces here.
Yeah. Dennis Nilsen finally seemed to find some stability when he moved in with David Galachin. Together, they rented a garden apartment at 195 Melrose Avenue in North London. Though the two men shared a home, Galachin denied any romantic relationship between them, describing their arrangement as a practical companionship. I half wonder, because no one was asking him about this at the time. They were asking him about this after all of what Dennis did came to light, and I would deny that too.
100%.
Even if there was something, I'd be like, nope.
Yep, not me.
Just roommates. For 2 years, this offered Nilsen a sense of normalcy. But when Galachin moved out, Nilsen's life took a sharp turn. The void left behind pulled him deeper into isolation, fueling a growing dependence on alcohol that blurred his grip on reality.
I mean, alcohol will do that. And it's also a depressant.
I know. And I think when you are already depressed and, you know, alcohol is your friend that doesn't let you down, your friend that doesn't leave.
Yep.
That can become a serious problem. And then you just feel more crappy and you keep drinking more.
It's a cycle. Yeah.
As loneliness crept in, Dennis Nilsen began a downward spiral, his struggles intensifying until 18 months later, they culminated in a chilling act, his very first murder.
Oh, boy.
On December 29th, 1978, Nilsen's desperation reached a horrifying new level when he met a young man in a pub. As he'd done many times before, he invited the man back to his flat, hoping perhaps to fill the aching void inside.
Oh, boy.
So he wanted to get his rocks off.
I mean, he's a single man.
Don't we all?
You're lonely.
Yeah. But that night, something shifted. By morning, gripped by an overwhelming urge to prevent this young man from leaving, Nilsen took a tie and strangled him, then submerged him in a bucket of water to ensure he was dead. Afterwards, he washed the lifeless body in his bathroom and carried it back to his bed.
So, let me give you a bath?
This is so fascinating to me because just didn't want him to leave.
Yeah. So he was just desperate and he panicked.
The panic.
I don't think he panicked. Like, he's obviously been, thinking about murder, and this was like a macabre thing that he was into.
Yeah.
But I think that this individual was so sick in his mind that he was like, please don't leave me. When you think about, like, who do you bathe? You bathe people you care for. So then what? He turned around and started caring for the body?
Well, it's interesting that you say that because he later described that he saw beauty in the corpse. So he was looking at this dead body and was like, wow, it's so beautiful.
Okay.
To the point where, like, he laid down beside it.
Oh.
He spent the night beside it.
Ew.
Embracing his body.
That's disgusting.
His disturbing fantasy finally made real.
Oh my gosh.
Here was a lover that was never going to leave.
I just got the, like, ew.
He tried to do him, but it didn't work.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what didn't work?
Probably his ding-a-ling.
Oh, okay, right. Yes.
I'm assuming he just couldn't.
The fact that I couldn't put those two pieces together is a little alarming.
We're having a rough morning. Yeah, I don't think he could get hard.
I mean, he just went through something very traumatic.
Yeah.
He's just
Killed
actually
someone.
murdered somebody.
Mm-hmm. And now he's got this body in his bed. And I can't imagine, like...
What's next? Like, what are you going to do with it?
Well, let me tell you what he did with
Oh.
it. For months afterwards, he kept the decaying body hidden under his floorboards.
I'm sorry.
Correct. This is some, like, Edgar Allan Poe shit.
What the fuck?
Under his floor. So he just, like...
Wouldn't that smell?
Of course it would smell. It would smell awful.
Oh.
He kept it for 7 months.
7 months?
At which point, he dragged the remains out to his back garden and set them aflame.
Okay.
I'm assuming after 7 months, which I cannot even imagine.
I cannot. My brain isn't computing this.
He was like, ooh, this is not good. This is going to be a problem. I will deal with this now. After 7 months. And let me explain, like, 7 months of decaying body is atrocious. It's bad. We're talking maggots, smells, seepage, slippage, all the things you can imagine. It's awful. In October of 1979, Dennis's dark activities almost came to light. A young student who had spent time with Nilsen went to the police with a terrifying accusation. He claimed that during a bondage session, Nilsen had attempted to strangle him.
Oh, he took it a little far.
Yeah, so it sounds like it was fully consensual, and
Nilsen got excited.
he got a little bit too excited and almost took his life. And the student immediately went to the police.
So he didn't kill him.
No. So
interesting. He let him leave.
I know. I'm like, I wonder why. Like, I wonder what made him stop.
Or maybe this kid fought him off.
Maybe. So the student goes to the police, and despite the disturbing nature of the report, the case went nowhere.
You know why? And I can tell you why.
Because they're gay.
They're gay, and they were participating in bondage.
That's right.
So right away, they're
You're
not being...
less than.
Yeah, which just drives me.
That's disgusting. So no charges were filed, and Nilsen slipped back into the shadows, his secrets and impulses remaining hidden. It's bad because he did end up murdering someone, and he was obviously violent, but that could have been the end of this story.
Yeah.
That could have been, he killed someone, kept them under his floorboards for 7 months, and that was it.
Yeah.
Because then he was apprehended and he went to prison. This close call could have been the end, but it only emboldened him because of course it did. Because now we're feeling like...
I'm untouchable.
That's right. Nothing's going to get me down.
Oh.
I've now had 2 people report violence.
And nothing happened.
And nothing ever happens to me. Therefore, I'm
invincible.
good. Yeah. And I burnt that body in my back garden. No one's come for that yet. On December 3rd, 1979, Dennis found his second victim. Kenneth Ockenden, a young Canadian tourist, met Nilsen by chance in a London pub. The two spent the day together, sightseeing and sharing drinks, a seemingly ordinary connection completely, but when the night ended at Nilsen's apartment, that quiet fear of abandonment resurfaced.
Oh, no.
Overcome by his need to hold on to this fleeting companionship, Nilsen strangled Ockenden with an electrical cable. Following the same chilling ritual as before, he carefully cleaned the body, placing it in his bed and lying beside it throughout the night.
Oh.
This time, though, he took things a bit further, because this is what we see when
It escalates.
when you continue to be able to get away with these things, it escalates. So this time, he took photos of the lifeless body and him attempting sexual acts. It still sounds like his dingling wasn't doing the thingaling.
Okay.
And eventually moving it into the hidden darkness beneath his floorboards.
Oh, boy. And the picture taking, you know, like it's all piecing together now.
Yeah, it's so interesting. And you know I love the psychological aspect of all of this. It's so interesting because it was driven by his fear of not wanting to be alone. And, like, I relate to that.
Nobody wants to be alone.
Pre-healed Chantal, like, before I found the love of my life, you know, it was desperation. Like, you would meet someone and be like, oh, wow, he's really nice. I just want to keep him.
Yes.
What do I have to do to keep him?
Yes.
Right?
Right. I mean, I hope there was no one under your floorboards, but...
I have never had the energy to carry out any of this shit. Like, when I say I wanted to keep them, it was like, do I text them now or later?
Yeah.
It wasn't like, should I put him under my floor? Thank God. Unlike before, however, Nilsen didn't leave Kenneth's body untouched. So his first victim, he put him under the floorboards and that was that. He would frequently remove Kenneth from its hiding place, talking to Kenneth as though he was still alive.
I'm sorry?
Correct. Creating a sinister semblance of a relationship in the shadows of his lonely apartment.
I can't.
So can you, like, in situations like this, I always think about people in his life, because hear me out.
I just think of, like...
You're working at the grocery store, okay? And in comes Dennis, and you're like, oh, hi, Dennis. How are you doing? Oh, I'm really good, Chantal. How are you? I'm great. What brings you in tonight? Well, actually, I have a date.
No.
Oh, do you? Who's the lucky lady? Because, of course, we're not gay.
Right.
We don't tell people we're gay.
Right.
Oh, who's the lucky lady? Well, we'll see. And this man's going home with his bottle of wine and charcuterie board.
Oh, my
And
God.
pulling the decaying body out of his
so
floor.
like Norman Bates.
Right? Setting him up at the table and talking to, like, he admitted, like, he would
He was
talk
having
to him.
dates.
Like, so how was
I wonder
work
if
today?
they, like, danced.
They did. I guarantee they did.
They slow
They
danced in the
danced.
kitchen.
He touched him.
Oh, okay. I just got the little...
For Dennis, Kenneth was more than a victim. He was like his partner. That's how he treated him.
Huh. Dennis, your cheek skin just fell off. Let me just reapply that.
Man.
Like, what?
5 months later, his next victim was Martin Duffy, a homeless 16-year-old
No.
who he invited to spend the night on May 13th,
Leave the kids alone.
1980.
It
I
bothers
know.
me. I have such a
Well,
hard time.
and this is so sad. Like, in looking at photos of this poor kid, he was just trying to get out. You know when you're like 16, 17, you're like, I'm gonna go to London. I'm gonna make something of myself.
Aw.
You know, that was him.
Poor baby, big
I know.
dreams.
He didn't even have anywhere to stay, which is where
Oh, yeah.
Dennis came in, because he was like,
Helpful
oh,
Dennis.
you don't have anywhere. I have a place.
Creep.
As with his first victim, Nilsen strangled, then drowned him before bringing him back to bed and masturbating over the teenager's corpse. So now
He's
it's
given
not
up.
working. He's given up doing anything with the body. Now
So
he's just
he's-
using the body.
He's definitely getting a sexual pleasure out of
And
it.
we're escalating. We're still escalating. The first one, we couldn't do the thing.
Yeah.
So we just put him away. The second one, we still couldn't do the thing, but, like, we had a relationship with this body. And now we're
getting
bringing in a
confident.
sexual, we're bringing in sex into it. Duffy was kept in a wardrobe for 2 weeks before joining Ockenden under the floorboards. So now we have two bodies in our floor.
Oh, imagine. No. I'm not even going to talk about it because I can't imagine. There's no imagining this.
Let's not imagine. As his violent impulses escalated, his next victim was a 27-year-old prostitute named Billy Sutherland. One night, Sutherland unknowingly followed Nilsen home, a decision that would seal his tragic fate. Inside the apartment, Nilsen once again resorted to strangulation, extinguishing another life with cold detachment. But it did not end there.
Oh, boy.
Soon after, Nilsen encountered 24-year-old Malcolm Barlow, an orphan with learning disabilities.
Like, come on.
Yeah. In a cruel twist of fate, Barlow was drawn into Nilsen's web and met the same grim fate as Sutherland, also succumbing to strangulation. So we are just piling bodies.
Rack 'em and stack 'em. Like, this
under the
is
floorboards.
wild
We're going.
me.
And this is why, like, at the start of the episode, we were talking about, like, how is this guy not
I know.
Jeffrey Dahmer? How is he not Ted Bundy? Like, how is that possible?
It's just like he's not as well known.
Yeah.
And I think like the horror of what he did is so like insane to me that like you would assume you would hear about it more. And yeah, a lot of people have heard of it.
I wonder if people can't actually look at the depravity.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because this is dark.
Yeah.
Like,
very
really dark.
Yeah.
Like, Jeffrey Dahmer was disgusting.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. And super dark. But, I don't know, to me, this hits a little bit like there's a lot
Something
involved.
deeper.
Yeah. So by 1981, Dennis had taken the lives of 12 men within his apartment.
Sir, where are you putting all of these?
They're under the floorboards.
How big is this space?
I know. Okay, so, and I've seen photos of it, and it's not large. Like, we're not talking a ton of space.
Like,
It's
I'm sorry,
really-
and I'm not comparing this to this. Like, I'm not being insensitive, but you ever come home with your groceries after you've shopped hungry and you realize you can't fit everything in the fridge?
I know. At what point are you like...
Maybe I need to stop. It's crazy.
It's crazy. So tragically, only 4 of these victims could be identified.
Oh.
I know, which is so sad. The other... How many is there?
Well, we're at 12.
So 8, 9, 10,
8.
11, 12.
Yeah.
The other 12. The other 8. The other 8.
My fucking brain died there. I was like, yeah, the other 12.
The other 8 were never identified.
That makes me sad
I know.
because everybody deserves
Absolutely.
to... And every family deserves, you know, that peace.
Yeah, yeah. So his preference for targeting the homeless and prostitutes definitely played a role in his anonymity. Like, he was able to stay under the radar because he wasn't going after prominent businessmen. He wasn't going after, and it's so sad, and I even hate saying this, but he wasn't going after people who would be missed.
Yeah. And in a lot of cases, you know, serial murderers or,
Yeah.
you know, victims, especially victims of like a certain, I'm going to say like social standing.
Yeah.
Those people oftentimes do go missing and people don't report them missing because of, you know, their occupation.
And even the ones like the student at the very beginning, a lot of these students were coming from faraway places, and it was the 70s and 80s.
It's not like you're texting.
You weren't texting. Sometimes you didn't hear from your loved one for a long time.
And you're not going to imagine the worst. So you're
No.
like, oh, they're just out there living
They're at
life.
school, yeah.
Oh, my heart.
I know. Interestingly enough, Dennis often described his killings as entering a killing trance, a state where he just felt compelled to act. On 7 occasions, he claimed he snapped out of it just in time, freeing his intended victims instead of completing the act. That fascinates me because why? What was the difference between, like, what was snapping you out of it? How come 7 times you were able to snap out of it and 12 you were not?
So is that just a plea of insanity?
This is what I've always wondered is, like, are you just playing on people's emotions here and going like, well, it wasn't me. I heard voices.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then also, like, you do have to kind of think, like, he did let that one kid go. So there obviously, there's got to be something there.
Yeah.
And I guess we will never know.
Yeah, yeah. So, as we were talking about earlier, by the time Nilsen had murdered Malcolm Barlow, he was running out of hiding spaces. Like,
Well, yeah.
there was no floor left. So, in a desperate act, he stuffed Barlow's body under the kitchen sink.
All right.
Yep. So now we have half a dozen corpses hidden throughout his apartment, and he was starting to get stressed out. Like, he remembers this, and he remembers being like, this was becoming a problem.
Yeah. It's
Because-
an impulse. He can't stop now.
Because now, like, similar to, like, hoarding,
Yep.
now we have bodies everywhere. They're decaying. I can't imagine
The
the smell. And, like, I'm nauseous today as it is,
Yeah.
but I cannot even imagine that.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So to fight the nightmare he had created, he resorted to spraying his rooms twice a day to eliminate the flies that hatched from the decaying remains. But at this point, neighbors began to complain about the smell. Because no shit. Nilsen shifted the blame completely, convincing them that the smell was due to structural problems within the building.
I feel like if you've smelt decomp ever in your life, you know what that smells like. I know what that smells like.
I know.
And it is so awful. It almost lingers within your nose
I know,
hairs.
I
You know what
know.
I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it's
I do.
just... And people are living in this building.
This is it. Like,
How horrifying.
and again, this isn't like, it would be bad with, you hear stories where there's one body in a house and people are like, hello,
Yeah.
do you not smell
Oh.
that? So there's 12 bodies in this house.
No.
And of course the neighbors are like, hey, Dennis, you notice anything stanky up in here? Because, like, we can't breathe in our apartment. Yeah, it would have been awful. So he started to resort to horrific measures to dispose of these bodies. To rid himself of the evidence, he would strip off his clothing so he's naked. This is an awful photo. Like, when I read this, I was like, I saw the whole thing in my head and I was like, oh, this is awful. He would strip off all his clothing and methodically dismember the bodies on the cold stone kitchen floor using a large kitchen knife.
Jeez.
Because, remember,
He was a butcher.
he was a butcher. So he knows where to cut. Sometimes, Nilsen boiled the skulls to strip away the flesh, carefully placing the organs into plastic bags for disposal.
Where did he put them?
He buried the limbs in the garden
Oh.
and in his shed.
What about the fires? I thought he was burning them.
Yeah. While torsos were stuffed into suitcases hidden away until he could burn them.
Wow.
Because, of course, you can, Matt and I have bonfires often in
Yeah.
the evenings. I can bring out a leg and burn it
Yeah.
reasonably without drawing too much attention.
Yeah.
If you're bringing out 12 bodies, that's not happening.
This is like a full-time job. So he's
Yeah.
also maintaining a job.
He is. He's going to work every day.
The anxiety of
I
it
know.
all.
I know. It's crazy. So, yeah, he was just stuffing them in suitcases until, and probably slowly, like, having a fire at night. Pretending he was doing yard work and then burning some of these limbs and some of these parts. So, when he wasn't at work, he would burn these fires all day long. And somehow,
No one said anything.
and this would have been
'Cause he's
mortifying.
in an apartment,
correct?
right?
And like in London town, like there's people everywhere.
Oh, look. S'mores. Like, what?
So after the flames had consumed the flesh, because that's
Yeah.
what we're burning, he would just, and like the bones would be so brittle from the flames.
And they've been there for a while.
Yeah, he would just crush the bones to make sure that if anybody came by,
They're not coming across
they're not
like,
like,
a...
oh, a femur bone.
Yeah.
When police eventually conducted forensic examinations on his property, they discovered thousands of bone fragments scattered throughout the garden. There's a really great documentary on Netflix called Memories of a Murderer, the Nilsen tapes.
Ooh.
And I highly, like, if you're interested in this story at all, I highly recommend watching this because Nilsen was egotistical and made a ton of, like, tapes of him talking. And it's terrifying.
Like pre being caught, or like, is he...
I think there was a mix of both.
Oh,
like in the
okay.
documentary, they play both because it sounds like he had access to a recording device from prison as well.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm not
Right.
sure. Some of it was certainly before or certainly during all of
Okay.
this. Yeah. In 1982, Dennis sought to escape his own darkness by moving into a top floor apartment at 23 Cranley Gardens in Muswell Hill, North London.
So here he is trying to do something to get out of the habit.
Yes, because A, you're now top floor.
Yeah, he's like, no.
Maybe
no
in his
floorboards.
head, yeah, maybe in his head he was like, if I put bodies in the floor, they're gonna leak into the apartments underneath. Not a good idea. It had no garden and no convenient floorboards.
Okay.
So this was his attempt
Yeah.
to stifle his behavior, which cool, but you already done fucked it up, buddy.
Yeah, no. You're not changing now.
No, despite his efforts, he found himself unable to quell his violent impulses because, of course, like a move is not going to fix you. Between his arrival and February 1983, he killed 3 more men. John Howlett, Archibald Graham Allen, and Stephen Sinclair. Each murder presented Nilsen with a greater disposal challenge as the apartment lacked direct outdoor access.
And like, you're not hauling that body outside from upstairs.
What are you doing?
What is he gonna do?
He was
I
undeterred.
have ideas, but...
He was undeterred. He adapted his methods. He resorted to boiling the heads, feet, and hands, and dissecting the bodies into smaller pieces that could be flushed down the toilet.
No.
He was like, this looks like the size of a poop.
Oh, boy.
The remains were carefully placed into plastic bags, a solution to his ever-growing problem of disposal. But he was like, the toilet will do it. The toilet will take it away.
That's gonna eventually get caught
It's a
in
bot-
there. It's
we're-
a bone.
It's a body.
Yeah.
We're talking about, look at me.
Right.
You're going to flush me down the toilet? I don't think so.
I mean, C for creativity? I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, I can't even fathom this. This is wild.
At Cranley Gardens, where Dennis lived among 5 other tenants, a veil of normalcy concealed the horrors lurking within. None of his neighbors knew Nelson well, but in early February, 83, one of them called in drain specialist Dinah Rod to investigate a persistent blockage.
You don't say.
Because I just can't. This whole thing just...
This is really...
So your sink isn't draining properly, and you're like, what the fuck?
I live in a big condo. All I can keep thinking is, like, if I ever have a clogged toilet, sink, something backs up, I'm going to be like, oh my God.
A couple weeks ago,
Yes.
Ashley is supposed to come to my house, and she FaceTimes me, and it's just a video of her ceiling fan in the bathroom, and there's like Niagara Falls coming out of it. And we both immediately were like, what are your upstairs neighbors doing,
Yeah.
Ashley?
I was like, someone died in the tub, or they've killed someone.
Yeah, something bad has occurred.
Everything I thought was going on, the end solution in my mind was that someone died.
Yeah.
But that's just because what we do.
This
This is all we talk about.
Yeah, this is our jam. So the technician shows up, and all the tenants are gathered around. They're like, oh, you're going to save our pipes, including Dennis. He's there like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I've been
Wonder
having
what
problems.
that could be.
I know, I've been having problems too. I don't know what's up.
Okay, Dennis.
All right, Dennis.
Of course he's there.
So the technician descends into the outdoor manhole, where he immediately stumbles upon rotting human remains.
Ugh.
It was decided that a full inspection would take place the following day, at which point the police would be notified. Which, excuse me?
The next day? So, I'm sorry. So you're like, oh man, there's a body in here. This is crazy. And you're like, going through. But don't worry, guys. I'm still going to fix the problem.
So, I really struggle with this part of this story. What?
Like,
Pardon me? What?
Go home. You'll never guess, honey.
You'll never guess what happened at work today.
I found a body.
In the manhole at that apartment building.
Guess I'll give the cops a call tomorrow.
I'll ring them tomorrow.
It's fine.
They're at home with their families for the night.
I can't.
What? So, obviously, Dennis is like, shit.
I better move.
I better do something. So he's frantically attempting to cover his tracks that very night. Which, again, how did he have the opportunity? Like, we're not calling the cops till the next day.
So he's like, I better get rid of these
So
parts.
he's like trying to clean the drains.
Oh.
He's doing all this cleaning, like, oh shit.
That's not suspicious.
Well, it was, because one of the downstairs tenants caught sight of him and was like, what are you up to, Dennis? What you doing? I hear a lot of noise coming from your apartment. Like you're fucking with the drains, Dennis.
Yeah. Ugh.
On the morning of February 9th, 1983, in a chilling moment of dark humor, Nilsen goes to work.
Oh.
Because
He's still, well, yeah, you got to pay them bills.
he jokingly tells a colleague, if I'm not in tomorrow, I'll either be ill, dead, or in jail.
Okay. That's okie dokie.
So the weight of those
He's
words.
like, well,
yeah, the weight of those words
he was
hung
just
heavily
trying
in the
to,
air.
he's trying to help out his coworkers. He's like, listen,
Like,
there's
you know
a good
those-
chance I'm not making it in.
You know those foreshadowing TikToks?
Yeah.
This was it.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you just say?
Nothing.
No, it's fine. On the evening of February 9th, 1983, Dennis faced the moment he had been desperately trying to evade. He was met at his apartment by Detective Cheese
Detective Cheese.
Detective Chief Inspector J, who had come to question him about the human remains found in the drains. As Jay entered the apartment, he was immediately struck by the smell.
Well,
Because
yeah.
of course you were.
Of course.
Curiosity piqued, he turned to Nilsen and inquired about the source of the stench. Hey, Dennis, what's that smell? That's literally all he said. Dennis says, what you're looking for is stored in bags around the apartment.
Now, do you think because he's like, oh, the jig is up, or is he just so tired of living this life? He's just like, please just, I did it.
I partially question if this was a relief for him.
Yeah.
He had been avoiding this exact moment for so long that I think in that
You'd be exhausted.
he was just like, it's me.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. He went on to reveal the horrifying contents of the bags. There were 2 dismembered heads and other large body parts that weren't going to fit down the toilet. In that moment, everything shattered. He was now the monster within the walls of his own home. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even, and I feel so strongly for this inspector because he was literally just like, hey, nice to meet you. Ooh, what's that smell? And this guy's like, you're going to have to look in the bags.
Like, I know, right?
After his arrest, Dennis didn't hesitate to provide horrifying details about his killing spree. He admitted to the murders of 15 young men. He also claimed to have attempted to kill 7 others, though he could only name 4 of those 7.
So there were 7 other people that got away.
Yeah.
But they never reported it.
No, and again, and we've seen this in quite a few cases
Yeah.
we've talked about. Again, they're gay. They're young.
Prostituted. Like,
So some of them might have been prostitutes. Some of them might have been whatever. And they probably just thought, phew,
yeah, got out of there.
got out of there.
That was weird.
Lucky me. Throughout his interrogation, Nilsen showed no signs of remorse. Instead, he was like eager to talk about this, which again, now we're talking about like ego and the psychology of all of
Is
this.
it ego? Is he's finally
Is he
able
relieved?
to... Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like it could be so many different things. So he led them back to his old address. Because he was like, guys,
Wait, there's more. What?
guys, come. Let me, you got a piece of paper? We're going to go for a drive.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Brought them back out there.
Could you imagine being that inspector? Like, I'm sorry, what?
No, because no.
No.
What? Again, like they're like,
We're sitting in front of a serial killer.
so the morning, it was the morning.
Yeah.
They got a call from Dino Care or whatever it was called, being like, so yesterday I was on a call and there's some people in the drains. And they're like,
Oh.
what? And they go just to be like, what the fuck is going on here? And Dennis is like, oh, yeah. So there's some heads and some body parts. They're in my closet.
Anyone need any overtime?
Oh,
'Cause you're
God.
about to get
Because
it.
you're about to get all of it. Following his confession, he was held at Brixton Prison while awaiting his trial. During his time there, he became remarkably prolific. Following his confession, Nilsen was held at Brixton Prison while awaiting trial. During his time there, he became remarkably prolific, filling over 50 notebooks with memoirs of his crimes. He also created what he referred to as sad sketches, which, same. Like, I relate. Like, but he illustrated his treatment of some victims.
Wow.
And those, he just called them sad sketches. Sir,
It's a little...
we're a little deeper than
past the sad
You know,
sketches.
I'm drawing sad sketches of like, you know, one of those people with like the hole in their heart.
Yeah.
This guy's like, look at what I did.
And you know, like, so the question is, like, he's trying to help the prosecution against him. So
Well, he's certainly not helping himself. He's filling 50 notebooks with literally a written confession of everything he did with diagrams of what he did to the bodies.
This is
Like,
wild.
he's not helping himself in any way.
This blows my mind.
I know. The trial of Dennis Nilsen began on October 24th, 1983, amidst a media frenzy that surrounded the gruesome details of his crime, because, of course, he was charged with 6 counts of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. He entered a plea of not guilty, citing diminished responsibility due to a mental defect. So he was like, my head's not good.
Right.
Your head's not good. But for how many years you managed to hide body after body after body after
You're
body?
not completely insane.
You're not completely insane.
You held
and
a job.
he went to work every day.
Yeah, no.
Come on. The prosecution's case hinged primarily on the extensive interview notes taken during his arrest. Because, again, he was open about everything. He was like, oh, yeah, I'll tell you everything. Tell you everything. In addition to his confession, the prosecution called to the stand 3 survivors. Paul Nobbs, Douglas Stewart, and Carl Stodder, who had narrowly escaped Nilsen's clutches. All 3 men testified about their harrowing experiences, recounting how they had been subjected to his attempts to strangle them. So these 3 guys were like, hello? We had sex and then he tried to kill me.
Yeah.
He tried to strangle me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And, like, also, you have to put your sex life out there. Like, people coming forth, that's, like, such a huge, brave thing to do. I admire people when they step forward and they just speak their truth and they just say, like, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be obviously frowned upon, but this is what happened. So good for them.
Yeah.
I'm proud.
So this is maybe one of my, like, this is in the top 5 of my favorite things a judge has ever said.
Okay, go.
Because I agree 100%. So following 3 testimonies of 3 psychiatrists, the judge determined that Dennis was responsible for the acts and stated, and I quote, "A mind can be evil without being abnormal."
Yes.
Which, amen, brother.
Yes.
And I'm not saying, like, there are cases where there is a mental breakdown,
Right.
where there is a mental health issue, where there is a neurological problem. But people who use that as a crutch after they've been caught,
So many people.
you can be evil. You can be this evil without having an abnormal mind.
Absolutely.
I loved that. On November 3rd, 1983, the jury retired to deliberate. However, despite their efforts, they were unable to reach an unanimous decision.
How?
I know, I can't.
Someone was like, you know what?
I really struggled with this
No.
because I'm like, what did you say?
What other decisions.
Dennis is drawing sketches.
Guilty.
Of, this is what I did. This is where I did it.
He admitted it. The bodies are
All of
there.
it.
These people lost their lives. Like, what more do you need?
Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding. Like, come on. This isn't like a reasonable doubt situation.
Yeah.
There is no doubt.
I know.
Oh, now I'm
So,
mad.
well,
I'm upset.
It's okay to be mad because our favorite judge fixed it.
Okay.
The following day, the judge made a pivotal decision, agreeing to accept a majority verdict, which we don't hear about a lot.
No.
But if there was ever a case for it, this is it.
Yeah.
As the clock struck 4:25 p.m., the jury emerged to deliver their decision. Guilty on all 6 counts of murder. Dennis would spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole for at least 25 years, and he died in prison in 2018.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about him again.
Don't have to worry about him again, but what a twisted case.
My heart breaks for all those victims.
I know, me too. It always does. I always, as much as we have this podcast and this outlet and, we're sharing these stories with you because, again, it's not necessarily about how gruesome something is. I am constantly fascinated by the psychological aspect of all of this and what is going on in their brain and what led them to this. But we do have to always remember these were people, and the reason that we're telling this story today is because innocent people lost their lives in horrific ways.
Yeah.
Horrific
and they
ways.
deserve to be honored and cherished.
Yes. Yeah.
So I definitely am really horrified, but very happy you did share this story.
Yes. Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Oh,
I hope
appreciate
everyone
you.
enjoyed it.
Yep. And we will see you soon.
Bye. Thanks for joining us on Triggered, where we dive deep into the dark, the twisted, and the cosmic mysteries of the universe.
Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, always watch the stars and your back.